Hey everybody, it's SirWillow. A little bit of a different video for you this time. I will have my regular confessions episode tomorrow, but there have been a couple things that have been going on, and I kind of wanted to give you an update and share some feelings, and to be honest, to get a couple of things off my chest about things that have happened in the last couple weeks with the channel. If you haven't been watching my Facebook page at all, some of this will probably catch you by surprise. If you have been watching it, there's been a couple hints there, so you may be a little bit aware of a bit of this. First, I want to let you know about my health. I've actually had a couple people send in a couple comments about the way I'm looking and my size, and, most of them nice, but there have been a couple that have been kind of out there a bit. If you are not aware, I got diagnosed with a heart condition about 1.5 years ago called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. It basically means that the muscle in the middle of my heart is enlarged. And over the course of the last year, I've had to start some new medical treatments and a few other things that, let's just say, it's been an adjustment period and it's been very hard. I've had very much to limit the amount of physical activity I do and the type because of it. If you really want an extreme example of what could happen if you're not taking care of yourself and not paying attention, there was a gentleman back in the 90s who was playing college basketball. I believe his last name was Dawkins, if I remember right. But you can look it up. He was actually playing a college basketball game on ESPN, and in the middle of the game, he does a slam dunk. He staggers a little bit and collapses, and that's it. And it's the same heart issue I've got. There are ways to treat it. There are certain things you cannot do. Extreme physical activity is one of them, and that's what got him, because he wasn't doing his medicine and stuff. But that's been part of the issue in trying to find an exercise program that works and a way to do it. Because our space is limited, it's hard for me to do something like an exercise bike, and living in the middle of nowhere, there's no gyms available. So trying to get something like that in place has been difficult. But that's kind of what's going on as far as my heart and my health goes. So if you're looking going, man, he sounds like he's out of breath, and yeah, that's why. So we're trying to work on that. Probably the bigger issue for me, and the one that's really bothered me, is this last week and a half. If you've been watching the channel, you know that we just did a trip out to Kentucky, where we visited the Ark Encounter, and then in Ohio we went to the Creation Museum, and then after that we went to the St. Louis Zoo and Six Flags St. Louis. And the reactions I've gotten to this trip have been interesting, to say the least. When we did kind of the live stream wrap-up response, I actually watched my subscriber numbers drop quite a bit. Over 50 subscribers lost in the matter of about 3 days, which, I'm human, it bothered me. It really disappointed me. I understand basically why they all quit, but it hurt. It was kind of like, gee, that was kind of a bummer and a disappointment that, one stop in 3 years. Far more disturbing to me, though, is some of the messages that I've had. Thankfully, I haven't had very many, but the ones I've had have been not nice, let's just say. The nice one talked about the whack job places, and anybody who goes to them are very anti-science and imbeciles. And there's a second one similar to that that was actually posted on the channel commentary, but I was kind of like, that bothers me. That somebody who I can pretty much guarantee hasn't looked into anything, doesn't know anything at all about these people, has just automatically assumed they're all whack jobs. And I know some of those people, and trust me, they're not whack jobs. I don't even like the implication that they're calling me that. The other issue, the other letters, I won't quote, I can't quote, because they were rude, insulting, and just downright profane. Highly inappropriate. Let me give you a quick little rundown of who I am, if you don't know who I am. I am a pastor, okay? This room that I'm filming in is the office at my church. That means that faith is an important part of my life. It is who I am. I was not raised as a Christian. I was actually raised in an atheist home. My dad was an atheist, and He taught us how to be very skeptical and cynical, and I don't believe anything that I'm told, whether it's just, out there on the internet, whether it's from the news, whether it's in a school textbook. I investigate everything. And I did not become a Christian because I was told I should be a Christian or that it was the smart thing to do. I investigated. And I'll tell you more about that on my other channel. If you really want to know about that whole thing, there'll be a link up there and you can go to that. But that's true about my faith. It's true about different aspects of my faith. It's true about a lot of things and who I am. And so I don't ever just kind of say, hey, let's do this. This is wonderful. I'm going to believe this because it sounds cool. That's not me. And so I look at things very closely. So I want to put that out there, just because I don't want people to think that I'm jumping off into this flat earth theory thing. No, trust me, that's not there. The other thing is with a place like the Creation Museum, the Ark Encounter, they are tourist stops. And I will stop at almost any tourist stop. I will go someplace, hey, if there's people stopping there, let's go check it out. Let's see what it is. Whether I agree or disagree, in many ways, is honestly irrelevant to me. Let's go see what it is and show people and talk about it and at least tell my friends. To not understand that and understand the point of what I'm doing on the channel is... It's hard for me to put it politely, to say the least. It's really bothering. Just because you disagree or don't understand somebody's belief or point of view is not an excuse for insults or attacks. Especially because they come from your own fears of something different, or, let's just be honest, plain ignorance. Because I find that most people who attack somebody of faith have never studied or looked at it close. They've had a few brief experiences and then written it off as they're all a bunch of jerks and idiots who don't know what they're talking about, without ever looking to see why somebody might be that way. Not true in all cases, but a lot of the ones that are really mean and vicious tend to be that way. When they attack something like creation science or the Bible's history, I don't want to get too much in that, but let me just say there's a lot of people who attack things they don't understand. Political views is a good example of that. They don't understand something, and so they attack it rather than learn. And it comes from so much ignorance. It drives me nuts. I get frustrated. And you see, I'm not editing this one because I want you to see how I really feel about it. Give you a little look at the inside. With the Ark Encounter in the Creation Museum, I was actually offered free tickets because of my job as a pastor. And I was thinking, okay, this would be a cool trip to check out what I've heard from, not just from online, but people in my church and in my Christian community. So let me go see what they are interested in, what would appeal or not appeal to them, and is this worth it? Because I've had people in church ask me, hey, should we go check that out? So there is more reasons than doing things than just the channel. In fact, a lot of people I don't think realize what the point of the channel is. My channel is not to make money. My channel is not to get lots of subscribers and look how cool I am and am I not wonderful and everything else. That has never been the point of my channel. My channel has been for me to share and record videos and memories from posterity, honestly, for my kids, my grandkids, and whoever may watch later on. It is to have some fun with it, to talk about some funny things, to get interaction, yes, with people. I have worked hard to build up the subscriber base, but it has never been my main goal to be a rich and famous YouTuber or have a humongous channel or anything like that. I have been very blessed with what's happened. It's way beyond anything I ever expected. But for people to sit there and send me notes like another one I got today that, if this is the best you can do, I'll just unsubscribe. Okay. That's fine. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to please you. I hope it pleases you. I hope you like what I do. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm here to please me. I know, it's a selfish thing, isn't it? And if you're along for the ride, and, oh, gosh, I love you for it. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, this is really kind of my project and what I want to record and save and do and have fun with. And I hope you like that. And if you don't, well, you know, I'm sorry. It's my channel. If you don't like it, go make your own channel. But the reactions of people, and it's not just to my channel, it's the stuff I see on social media, the political banter, the liberals versus conservatives, Republicans versus Democrats, atheists versus anybody of faith, and the whole bit. It really bothers me. Just because you disagree with me or my faith is not a reason for me to not like you. It's also not a reason for you to not like me. And the whole idea that you would allow somebody's faith, their differences, their skin color, their beliefs, where they live, to come between you and have you attack them, it's not my problem. It's yours in your case, in that case. If you can't handle the fact that somebody's different than you, that believes different than you, that may think differently than you, it's not their problem, it's yours. And when you go so far as to tell people that they can't shop somewhere, eat somewhere, go someplace because you don't like the views of those people or who goes there, wow, that is the height of bigotry and intolerance. It's disgusting. It really is. And I'm so sad to see how accepted and normal this has become. And then when you turn it on me, yeah. You know, the couple people that sent me those notes, I'm sorry for you. I really pity you. Because there's obviously so much lacking in your life that you got to send stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a hard couple weeks. The health issues have been flaring up. And then just to kind of get that, and my wife and I were out having a good time and just saw some of that. I was like, really? What a downer. So, all that to say, for those of you who've been watching and enjoying the channel, thank you. For those of you who've got a different view than mine and you're still watching, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. I have tried very hard to keep this channel politically free and faith-free, so it's open and accessible to anybody and everybody. And so I really do appreciate those of you who have different views that watch. I really do. If you can't handle that I've got certain views, oh well. Don't let the door hit you. It's just sad that people have to come to that kind of conclusion. So, thank you for those of you watching. Thank you for listening to me kind of rant and let it out a little bit and let out some of the disappointment I have with some of the things that happen. Yeah, it's not an easy thing. You always see the upbeat, happy-go-lucky SirWillow, and behind the scenes sometimes there are definitely some hurt feelings and frustrations when you get stuff like that. I'm a human being like everybody else, and I can guarantee you pretty much anybody else doing YouTube videos that gets stuff like that gets the same kind of feeling sometimes. It's hard to turn it off when people are offensive towards you. So, those of you who have other suggestions for places for me to go, I'd love to hear it. Goodness, if there was some place like Buddha World, I'd go check it out just because it's a tourist stop. So, thank you for watching, I guess, is what I want to say. Thank you for those of you who stuck by me, who don't let differences get in between you and other people, who are willing to build bridges, because really that's what we're out. We're all human beings. We all got red blood, whether we like to believe it or not. We're all created in the same way. Yes, there's different personalities and cultures and beliefs and stuff, but at the core of it, we're still human. And we ought to be looking for ways to find commonality and build bridges and relationships rather than letting stuff split us up and divide us, and especially not to be attacking each other just because somebody's different. Don't be that way. Let's work together and build up a better community instead of letting all this garbage split us up and hurt us. So, that's pretty much what I gotta say. Thank you for sticking with me for this little bit. Thank you for watching. And again, there will be a regular Confessions episode coming up tomorrow that I hope you'll enjoy. So, thank you so much.